All right, sub traders. Today's talk, we're going to get into limit exits versus market exits. So, if you've been paying attention to my channel, you know recently I've been going on and on about limit orders and limit trading. And I'm going to refresh that and update you on how my trading has gone the past 3 weeks at the end of September. And shift the topic and shift the focus onto specifically exiting with limit orders versus exiting with market orders. So welcome in, fam. Much love, Trav here. If you don't know me, I'm an adventurer, entrepreneur, and trader living out here on Oahu in Hawaii. And I've traded, you follow me, I've traded all kinds of different ways. And right now, I'm trading in a style that ideally is almost entirely limit orders for two main reasons. The first reason is scheduling. The second is emotional management. But scheduling, I live in Hawaii. I'm asleep during New York time. And I'm just way happier when I'm super busy. And also not just happier, but trading's a lot less stressful when I'm make enough money that I don't need to trade. So therefore, come here, doggy. I'm working a couple awesome jobs right now. I have my own business that I'm a tour operator for, where I do private adventure hiking tours around the island. And I also, congested. I also work for a marine tour company doing dolphin tours. And I just worked 6 straight days and I have a day off, and then I have 5 straight days. So I'm very busy and I love the work. It's awesome swimming with whale sharks, pygmy killer whales, dolphins, turtles, and humans. But I'm not always available at a certain time, and I just don't have that much time. I need to get up at 5:30. I need to be asleep at 8:30. I cannot stay up late, watch the charts. It doesn't make sense to use market orders because I'm not and don't want to check the charts that much. And it's not, when I'm trading market orders, it's just random if I see the good entry or not. It's really unlikely. So what makes the most sense is to swing trade with limit orders, right? It solves a scheduling problem. I don't need to be there when price hits my level. It can happen at New York, it can happen at the open, right? The only exception is I have a system that trades the daily close on crypto, and on days I do the dolphin tours, I'm home and my trading session is during that time. So I'm okay with that exception. It doesn't come up every day. Okay. The second reason for limit orders on entries is for psychology. It's not that pleasant to watch the chart when you're not in a trade and you have a limit order and it's going against you, or even if it's moving towards it. So I find I do a lot less chart watching. I learn about myself, I really don't like being in drawdown in a trade. If I see a trade showing a loss, I usually just close it. And that means I need to be really careful about when I get in. And if I'm trading limit orders, I have a much greater chance of a precise entry where I'm like, get wicked right into the trade, and then I'm pretty much, it's going my way the whole time. And I have a chance to break even it. So, it's solving some problems for me. And if I look at the last 3 weeks, aside from the first week of September, I've had a winning month. I think I had a winning week, a losing week, and a winning week. And the limit orders have worked great. I've had a number of great entries. I think like 3 awesome entries on Bitcoin. In particular, I'm typically setting my entries in 4-hour fair value gaps, and I'm using some order flow to determine direction and also how much pullback I think is likely. and doing some other things, but that's a good way to describe what I'm doing. And I have noticed, and I talk about this too, when price misses my fill and moves in favor, it's very tilting, and I have had a tendency to chase. And when I chase, two things possibly happen. One is price comes back, stops me out, and then my original idea that I wanted to trade, I'm not able to trade because my risk is all fucked up. And the second is that I end up chart watching and price chops around and I just close out and I take losses, and then it moves without me anyways. So it's really important for me to stay disciplined and to not chase and say, hey, the problem with limit orders is some of the time you're not going to get filled. Some of the time it's going to run without you, and that's fine. It's not a loss. That's FOMO, right? You got to be more afraid of losing than not winning, right? It doesn't need to be painful that you didn't make money, right? If it's too painful that you're not making money in trading, then get a job that you like before you have to get a job that you don't like, right? Now, one thing that I've noticed, which has prevented this last 3 weeks from being really good and the month from being very profitable, is what? Aside from those FOMO chasing events, which have happened a couple times, I would say it's market exiting. So I have a tendency to exit at the market, okay? And the problem with exiting at the market is the same as entering at the market, is I'm not checking that much. What are the odds I'm actually checking at an opportune time? And to go back to the psychological reason to limit order, is I have a tendency to chase and sometimes revenge trade, but more than anything to chase. Limit order prevents chasing for the entry, and when I'm exiting on the market, oftentimes is just not the right place to do it. It's impulsive, right? Got Market Wizards here, which I'm going to share more about. This book, The Little Book of Market Wizards, is awesome, but he says there's no class of trades with a higher failure rate than impulsive trades. Closing at the market is impulsive. Closing with the limit order is planned, right? So I'm going to take the impulsivity out. And if I look back, I can think about a lot of scenarios where I realize a loss, or I realize a series of losses. Yeah, this can solve a lot of problems for me. So I'm going to give you just a number of examples from this month. I longed ETH at the bottom, and I closed it on at the market on a 10-point move, and it ran 200 some points. I made $300 and it's up $10,000, right? I don't know that I would have limited so far, but I could have limited further. The Bitcoin longs that I keep closing, or that didn't get refilled on and feel like I needed to chase. Well, I fully closed them at the market, right? I need to close, I need to not do that and just let them run. And then every once in a while, I've had one of these days where I enter and then exit at a loss and enter and exit at a loss and enter and exit at a loss very quickly. And it's not a full loss, but it's a partial loss. And one half of the problem is market entering. The other half of the problem is market exiting, because sometimes these would turn into great trades. So if I cannot exit at the market, or do not exit at the market, it prevents, right? So I also think back to various other trades. There's a lot of times where exiting a loser did save me some money, but there's so many times where exit should not have exited the winner, and I did. And so, and that cost me more. So I think this is a good rule, and it's one thing to have a rule, it's another thing to follow the rule. So how do we do that? Well, I've got a board in my room in the house that I'm tracking, making videos like this for accountability, and it's just a focus. So as the limit order is falling into place for entry, the limit order for exit will fall into place as well. And it's not going to be perfect. It's something that I need to track and to be disciplined. And I can do it. And yeah, I think it's the next step. It makes sense, right? Why am I exiting at the market when I'm only checking price once a day and I'm not really trading the daily chart exactly? I'm never going to get the best exit, right? And it's allowing me to be impulsive and close a trade that's going to be a winner or more of a winner just because I'm feeling uncomfortable, right? So if I want to get out, I can choke it off with my stop, or I can put a limit up, but it forces me to plan. So that's what we're going to do. And yeah, happy trading. Much love, aloha. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for tapping in with me. Peace.